Hey everyone, welcome back. So today is Sunday. As usual, we're going to go over the miners, see how they did against Bitcoin for the week. We'll compare them. We'll also take a look at obviously Bitcoin, see what it's doing right now. It's getting close to the weekly close here, and it is trying to get above the 200 weekly moving average, which is kind of exciting. So we'll take a look at that. Obviously, we'll look at the miners versus Bitcoin for the week. These are the miners that we usually cover here, so you guys are all aware of that. And as always, not financial advice. You guys know the drill here. I'm investing in the following coins and companies for full disclosure. So let's get into Bitcoin really quick, and then we'll get into the miners themselves. So Bitcoin is at 22,745 right now. It is obviously above the magical little red line here, which is our 200 weekly moving average. And it has been battling with it here for the last 2 days or so. Going back to the 22nd of June, we fell below it. We bounced above it, and we continued to fall below it towards the 23rd of July, and we came pretty low here. We came at 21,947 roughly, and then we've been bouncing back up here. On the 1 hour chart, however, the only thing that I'm not liking here on it is that RSI is about 54 right now. Last time the RSI was around here, we were much higher in price. So we've obviously come down in price while the RSI has remained flat. That's not a good sign. So it looks like we had a little bit of a reversal in our patterns of going from bullish to a little bit bearish right now, but we'll see what happens. It is battling right now with it. I think it might be a good sign if we do close above it, above the 200 weekly moving average, which we are about 24 minutes away. So by the time you guys see this, we'll see what actually happens as far as what the weekly closes, whether it's going to be above the 200 weekly or below it. But right now it's battling. Maybe we'll take a look at it again towards the end of the video here. So that's Bitcoin right now. Ethereum is at 1,610 at the moment. And it is looking the same thing on the RSI right now. It's looking a little bit bearish. If we look at it, actually might not be that bearish. It's a 57 last time we were here. Let's go back to here. We are up in price actually from that time frame. So it looks like we might have switched reversals here a little bit. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Did we get that also here? If we look at the RSI back here, we were higher. Actually, we have. We're getting a little bit bullish here on it. So we can see between these 2 points, between 22,661 and now 22,720. RSI has been flat while price has gone up. So that's actually a good thing. So it looks like we might be going up here in the short term at least on those two. Other thing that we have going on this week, it's going to be an important week. We do have the Fed interest rates decision is going to be on July 27th. So right now, the consensus is that they're going to raise the rates by about 75 basis points, which is 0.75%. That'll get us up to 2.5%, and the Fed rate up from 1.75. So that's what we're looking at here for this week, which is going to be an important week that could also signal what's going to happen. And the next time we have the Fed isn't until September. So we got pretty much August to see how the data comes in from the CPI. We obviously know what June data was like, but we'll have July's, August data before they finally make a decision in September, which could be they might go 50 basis points or maybe lower, depending on where the CPI data comes in for those 2 months. So that'll be interesting. So this obviously gives us 2 months of play here, whereas before we had month over month, we've had Fed rate hikes and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see. So something to look out here for this week. The other thing that we have is the initial jobless claims, which is coming out to July 28th. We'll have to see how that plays out as well. And maybe we'll report on it when it does actually happen. All right, so let's take a look at the miners here really quick, see how they did for the week. And it was actually a pretty doggone good week. Miners were up for the most part, except for, well, they were all pretty much up except for Mawson. Mawson obviously looks like they're in a little bit of trouble. We covered this, that they had to get more money by diluting shares, unfortunately. So that happened. So the stock didn't like it. And it was down, obviously, for the week. 6.93%. CleanSpark was only up 0.7%, which I'm surprised. Along with Sphere 3D was up only was up 7.66. Bitcoin was up 9.02%. So Bitcoin, that's our kind of mark here that we're looking for. See if who did better than Bitcoin, who did worse than Bitcoin right now. And it looks like a lot of them did better than Bitcoin for the week. So DigiHost was up 9.82%. Hive was up 11.33. Argo was up 11.66. BitDigital was up 12.96. Bitfarms was up 14.53. Luxfolio was up 15.79%. Luxfolio, I'm still waiting on Luxfolio to provide their numbers and Mawson already did, so I got to update this really quick while I'm thinking about it before I forget. Go here, and we're done. Okay, so Mawson's done. Obviously, we're waiting on Luxfolio to provide their numbers for the month of June. Iris was up 16%. DMG was up 16.82%. Core Scientific was up 17.31%. Riot was up nicely, 27.83%. Hut 8 was up 30.38%. Marathon was up 54.48%. And Stronghold was up 62.84%. Two things to go over on Marathon and Stronghold. Marathon, they provided earlier in the week that they had secured all the required hash rate that they need, the 23.3 exahash, which they have bought miners for. So that's all secured as far as hosting providers. So that's why I think the stock was pumping the last couple of weeks here. And Stronghold, this is not confirmed, just rumors, little things that I'm hearing here and there. They might be in trouble with not only their own operations, but with their creditors, with the lender. So I'm surprised that the stock obviously went up so high based on that, unless it's just fake out investors or something, or to pull money out. But it's not confirmed, so we'll have to see if we get any confirmation on that. Stronghold obviously doesn't report week or monthly reports. They only do quarterly, so that's tough to follow them with that respect. But we'll still keep an eye on them, see what happens. So obviously we'll get data from all these miners for their Q2 earnings and possibly August sometime, if that all happens like it's supposed to. All right, so that's on the weekly. So obviously a good weekly update here for all of these miners, or a nice price performance. But look at Marathon. Marathon, if you look at the 4 weeks, you can see, let's go to the 4 week. Well, let's take a look at it here. So obviously you can see down in the chart below, Bitcoin's at 9%. Everybody else here has done a lot better than Bitcoin. For the most part, most of these miners are up at least 1.5x, 2x, and some of them are up like 5x, 6x. They're better than Bitcoin. That's why I love these mining stocks. Bitcoin goes up, these guys definitely pump a lot harder. But Bitcoin falls, they also fall a lot harder. So that's kind of where we're at with it. Looking at it here on the 4 week chart, let's do this ascending as well. So Mawson is down 18.3% on the 4 weeks. Luxfolio is up 1.2. Iris is up 4.7. CleanSpark up 8.6. Bitcoin's up 17.9% in the last 4 weeks. Argo's up 18.4. DigiHost is up 19.4. Core Scientific is up 21.2. Bitfarms is up 21.8. Hive is up 26.4. Sphere is up 31.1. BitDigital is up 34.6. DMG is up 39.7. Hut 8 is up 49.3. Riot is up 67.9, Stronghold up 81.7, and Marathon is up 124.2. So obviously Bitcoin's up 20%, so these guys are up 6x what Bitcoin is. And then these guys are up 4x, 3x roughly. So you can see obviously this pattern here that we're seeing with some of these miners is when Bitcoin runs, they run a lot harder, which is kind of nice to see here. We've been in this bear market here for the past almost year now, going back to November. November was a peak. Ever since then, we've been falling down. The miners have been beaten down tremendously. It's nice to see them finally pick up a little bit of steam here. So looking at the chart, you can see here, obviously Mawson did the worst, followed by Luxfolio, Iris, and CleanSpark, and then Bitcoin obviously had 18% roughly. And then Marathon, congrats to anybody that bought Marathon 4 weeks ago. You guys are way up on it, 124%. So congrats to you there. And then obviously going back further, 8 weeks ago, we can see here on the chart, we'll just do it really quickly. Let's see, where's Bitcoin? It was down 23.53%. Everybody above this did worse, so that includes Mawson, Luxfolio did the far worst, with Core, DigiHost, Bitfarms, Sphere 3D, Iris, Argo. And then we got CleanSpark, which is down the least, which is surprising. They're down the least on the 8 weeks, but they're below Bitcoin's increases here on the 4 weeks and the 1 weeks. DMG is obviously down 16, Hut down 10, Hive is down 7.3, and then Stronghold up 0.34%, BitDigital up 11.59, Riot's up 14.65, and Marathon's up 41.4% from 8 weeks ago. And looking at the 12 weeks, really quickly here, we can see that everybody's down. Bitcoin is down 36, almost 37%. These guys have done far worse than Bitcoin. Mawson, Core, Iris, Sphere, Bitfarms, DigiHost, Hive, Hut 8. And then these guys better than Bitcoin, which is Argo, CleanSpark, Luxfolio, DMG, Riot, Marathon, DigiHost, or BitDigital, and Stronghold. So possibly why CleanSpark hasn't been performing as well is it's possibly that it's gone down less than some of the other guys here. So it's maybe kind of evening out, excuse me, evening out a little bit right now. And then looking at all the miners here weekly, we can see we've had pretty much last week was really good. The prior week was bad. We were in the red. And we're kind of getting alternating weeks here as far as which ones are good, which ones are bad. But at least we're getting more green here in the charts, as you can see, instead of red, which we had for quite a long time here. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, for the most part, miners are doing a little bit better than Bitcoin. Some are doing a lot better, which is good to see as well. And then we'll see what happens this week. Obviously, the CPI, well, not the CPI data, but the Fed is going to be deciding the interest rate. So we'll see if we get 75 basis points, which I think is going to be okay. I think the market kind of priced that in. If we get 100 basis points, it's going to be hell in the market. So we'll see. So stay tuned. If you guys like the content, hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. That's all I ask from you guys. Spreadsheets, as always, is available to my Patreon members. Thank you to everyone there that supports me. So thank you very much. I'll see you guys in the next one tomorrow. We'll see what's going on Monday. So hope you guys had a great weekend. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.